The past couple weeks have been cold and stormy, and the winds have come through the valley quite strong this year. I haven't been feeling great lately, to be honest. The status of the garden is looking quite awful. The weeds have started to go to seed, and it's honestly just a huge mess. I'm trying to do so many things at once, and it feels like I can never really get ahead, never fully being able to finish anything. To weed the entire garden, it was gonna be one of those things that I couldn't just rush through. It took almost 2 weeks of full-time work, creating one of the biggest pile of weeds I think I've ever seen. But every day I got a little bit more done, and it felt so good to see the progress each day. It took a lot of sweat and determination, but I finally got rid of almost all the weeds.
I've been doing this for about 2 weeks now, getting really sick of it, but I'm almost done. I think this is like my last section. These are all the weeds that are hidden behind the raspberry plants. Look at this thing. This is ridiculous. This is so huge. What is happening? I don't even know if I can get this root. Oh, the heck? What is this? What is this? Oh, I definitely did not get that root.
Wow, I am so tired today. It feels like my body got hit by a truck. All week I've just been waking up really exhausted. I've actually been sleeping in for the past couple weeks, which has been kind of nice, to be honest, because it's still getting really cold at night, so kind of skipping over that cold morning feels pretty good. That's very unlike me, but I don't know, it just feels like I've been dealing with this cold for so many months now, and it's the middle of June and it still really hasn't warmed up. My plants aren't doing so well because it's really not that warm every day, and it's just been gray and cloudy and very stormy here, wind and just like a really intense spring. Weeding this garden the past couple weeks just took it all out of me. I am just exhausted. The garden is 1/2 acre. That's a pretty massive area for just 2 people to be doing part-time. The reason why we built it so big is because it takes a lot of effort to build a fence, and we knew long-term that we wanted to be able to grow things and sell them and actually like start a little small organic farm. So that's the reasoning behind it, but it just feels like way too much for me to manage myself, and so I was feeling really discouraged. That being said though, I am really proud of the way it looks now. We basically eradicated all the weeds, which is kind of crazy. Now I'm gonna plant a cover crop. Crossing my fingers, it kind of chokes out the weeds and they don't come back, or maybe they just come back a little bit less so I can actually manage it.
Okay, so today I'm gonna build some garden boxes. Cutting these panels in half. They're gonna be 8 by 4, I think. I don't know. I've never built garden boxes before, but I guess we'll just have to see how this goes. Okay, so this is officially my last box, which I am so excited about. I have no idea why, but this took me so long and was very exhausting. I thought it was just gonna be this easy little screw together kind of situation, but I'm too lazy to go get my mallet. I don't know where it is, so I've been using a rock. It actually, honestly, has been working pretty well, but it's just so silly. Boxes are finally done and filled with compost, and now we're gonna plant some seeds. Specifically, we're gonna plant some lettuce because the marmots ate our lettuce, so we need more. And yeah. Okay, start off with some more kale. The flea beetles ate the other kale.
The flea beetles?
Yeah. Can't seem to get rid of those things. Oh my gosh, it took us so long to get rid of these weeds, but it's so nice coming to the garden now.
Your mom was saying this is like half an acre.
Yeah. Half an acre garden. That is so silly.
I just finished making a elderflower rose face oil. I'm gonna let that sit for probably a couple of months to let the elderflower infuse into the oil. Now that wild roses are blooming up in the mountains, this morning on my walk I harvested some roses, and today I am going to start the process of making perfume, which is actually a really simple process. You just put your fresh flowers into a jar and add vodka. I'm gonna let that sit for about a day, and then tomorrow I'm going to take out the old roses, then add fresh roses to the mixture, and I'm gonna keep doing that for like 2 weeks. So it's gonna be a long process, but I guess we'll see how the perfume turns out. And then right now I'm heating up some elderflower with shea butter, and then I'm gonna add some beeswax to that to make a skin salve for injuries, like cuts and wounds and stuff. Because actually earlier this week, I got in a car accident. It was, yeah, kind of a random event. I wasn't actually driving, but my leg got kind of scratched up and bruised. So I'm gonna use that salve on my leg and hopefully it will help it heal. So last week I harvested some elderflower. I put the flowers into a big pot and then poured boiling water over the flowers. And then I let that sit for like 5 days or so to make this really strong elderflower tea. So basically after straining that and adding the sugar, I'm just bringing it to a low simmer here. Then I'm gonna add some yeast and then pour it into a gallon jug. And basically that will be elderflower wine. It'll take probably a couple months to ferment, but yeah, I'm really excited. Last fall I made elderberry wine and that was so good. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. And so yeah, I'm excited for this. Elderflower smells so good. It's really a unique smell though. I've never smelled anything like it, to be honest.
feeling good.
Me too. You know, I think it's because today is like the first warm day.
Yeah.
Really warm. Like we've been pretending it's warm, but it's not been. You know?
This is so good.
I just went on a walk up in the mountains and the air just smells so good up here. I think that spending time without any distractions in silence is one of the most healing and important things that we can do, especially in the world we live in right now. Like, it is so distracting and stimulating, and to just take time for silence, I think it's so important. Sometimes I find that in my day-to-day life, I can really let fear dictate the decisions I make and the path that I take. I'll have like creative ideas of maybe something new or different to try and do, and fear will just come in and just tell me, oh no, it'll be horrible, don't even try, like everything you do is horrible, so don't try to do that thing that you maybe want to do. And I find that if I go on like a really long walk, at first I'll have all these thoughts in my mind, like worries about the future, things that happened in the past, just like there's so much junk in my mind. As I walk and walk and walk, it's almost like those thoughts just slowly fall away, and I get to a point where I can really hear the truth. It's almost like I can hear the real Isabel that's not clouded by fear and worry and stress. I'm in there, but there's like layers covering me up. And as I spend more time in silence and just being quiet, those layers slowly start to shed away, and I can finally hear like this really strong, powerful voice. And it's really inspiring. Like, I feel like this is how I've been guided throughout my life, to spend time in the quiet and to really ask the world, ask the universe, where should I be going? What are the next steps I should take? What direction should I go in? And I guarantee you, you will hear an answer. Probably like a year ago or something, I had this idea to do a podcast. Time went on and I still had this idea, this urge, but I would sit down to record this first episode, and all of a sudden this voice in my head, this like critic, would say, you have nothing important to say, everything you say is dumb and cringy and horrible, like don't even try. And I would get up and I would be like, okay, I guess I'm not doing this today. And that's been going on for like a year now. It's hard to believe in yourself sometimes. Yeah, I think just for me, the most healing thing and the way that I can step out of that like inner critic, negative self-talk, is by spending time in quiet and walking for a very long time. It's like the only way I've found that I can really connect with my like inner truth, I guess is the right word for it. And yeah, I don't know. It's just really beautiful.